Alright, good afternoon everybody, I'm Robbie, I'll be your pilot today. Quick visual of your seatbelts, just gotta make sure they're low and tight, looks awesome. Did you guys watch the safety briefing inside the video? Cool. I'm gonna get onto a tower, get our clearance, we're out of here.
Congratulations, you both.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's day 2.
Alright, off we go.
What's the resort to the right?
Green roof is Marriott, and then like straight below us is Timbers. Kauai Beach out in front of the Marriott. One of the better places to go surf this time of year when we get a southern swell. See some people lined up out there. Just ahead of Kauai is Willy Willy. This harbor is the only deep water harbor on the island. That's where we get almost everything. 90 to 95% of the goods to the island are through Willy Willy. 30 tankers bringing in fuel, and then all of our cruise ships are through this harbor as well. Go ahead.
How high are we flying right now?
1,400. I see a river out the back side of the harbor, and then you'll see a kind of like a half circle pond on the right of it. That is the Menehune fish pond, built by the Hawaiians about 600 years ago. Originally a fish farm was the purpose of it. Today it's kind of like a historical landmark. Take really good care of it. It holds a lot of cultural significance, so there's plenty of restoration projects, blessing ceremonies on it throughout the year to keep it in good shape. We'll be flying kind of across this ridgeline. You can kind of already feel the sway. That's just a little bit of wind. Nothing to worry about, totally safe. Only reason I even bring it up is so you're not sitting here wondering what's happening. But the first couple minutes, we often feel a little bit of wind here on this ridgeline as we go. As we get a little closer to the ridgeline, you will see down the back side of it, 3 beaches, all called Kipukai. Every beach in Hawaii is public property. No one can own sand. However, there's a family behind Kipukai. They own everything, to include the road and the gate on the road. Because of that gate, you can't actually get down to Kipu from the island. You gotta take a boat. That is rare. Most beaches here have a hiking trail or a road straight down to them. Over here to our right, you'll see a big open field with some cows down in it. That's Kipu Ranch. If you are familiar with Hawaiian state history, you may know this used to be a huge sugarcane plantation state. There are no sugar canes on any island anymore, at least no plantations. Here on Kauai, a lot of the plantation grounds have turned into cattle ranches. It's actually our #1 export off of the island. Second largest industry other than tourism. To our left is a pretty major tourism hub. That is Poipu, the largest resort town here on the island. It's on the south shore. The other large resort town is actually on the north shore. It's called Princeville. Princeville and Poipu are very similar. The big difference between the two is the weather in the winter months. We get a lot of rain on the north shore. This time of year though, this is pretty common. Pretty sunny across the whole island with some high clouds. If you are staying in Poipu, or if you have driven into Poipu, Kaloa, or Lauai, you've gone through Tree Tunnel Road. This little ridgeline down ahead of us, as soon as we cross over the top of it, there's a forest. In the forest, there's one row of trees perpendicular to our flight path that are taller than the rest. The sun angle is not really doing us any favors, but you might be able to spot a car driving through it. You can see the highway to the right, and then it turns left into Poipu. All around Tree Tunnel Road is a big tree farm. All these trees are harvested for energy production. They take them to the two tan buildings to our right. They light them on fire. That fire is producing about 15% of the island's energy. It is a sustainable energy source, as they just replant the trees over and over after they harvest them. 60% of the island is on renewable or sustainable. Most of it's solar. There is a solar farm just beyond the trees, but you'll see solar farms and panels all over the island.
So we're doing 50% power.
Solar is up, yeah, pretty close to 50. Over to our left, you'll see a town going up the hill. That is Kalaheo. Look kind of beyond Kalaheo to the ocean. You'll see dark green farm kind of wrapping around the backside of it. That's all coffee. Kauai Coffee Company is the largest exporter of coffee in the state. 3,400 acres down there. If you're staying on the South Shore and you're coffee drinkers, that's a cool place to check out. They have a nice visitor center. You can get a good view of the ocean and the farm, try all the different coffees they're roasting. We're going to be headed into the next valley ahead of us, called Hanapepe. Hanapepe is a part of the largest private landholding here on the island of Kauai. The Robinson family moved to Kauai from New Zealand in 1864, and they bought 55,000 acres of land from the King of Hawaii, still the kingdom at the time. They are an agricultural family. They're cattle ranchers, so the light green out on the ocean, that's their cattle ranch. However, they own everything you can see right now. From their cattle ranch, from left to right, all the way into the mountains, is theirs. They own this valley, the next valley, and the next valley. We're going to be over the Robinsons' property for a while. To us, private land means no public access, so pretty much everything we can see right now you cannot access on foot or by car. We get away with it because we don't touch it. We're going to go down into Hanapepe Valley to check out some of the waterfalls here on the Robinsons' property. So at these waterfalls, I'll make sure everyone gets a good view of them. These are probably, well, they are my favorite waterfalls on the island. If it's not up your side right away, just give me like 10-15 seconds, I'll do the turn. 2 miles ahead of the base of the valley in the sunlight down there, you can see the top half of a waterfall called Mauna Puna. Everyone refers to it as Jurassic Falls. Made famous in the first Jurassic Park movie when they land a helicopter at the base of the waterfall ahead of us. We'll get a lot closer, continue to turn along the way. As we get closer to Mauna Puna, you'll see some waterfalls pop up on either side of the valley.
I like the Jurassic Park music.
It's a nice touch. Back behind Jurassic Falls, we have the Kahili Falls. You can see 2 of them right now in the cove. There's actually 5 total back there. It's hard to see all 5 at once, but I'll do a few turns out in front of it, which is many in view at once, usually 4. Back behind the Kahili Falls, you'll see quite a few dead trees in the forest. 1992, the island was hit by Hurricane Iniki. 150-mile-an-hour winds hit the island, destroying a lot of Kauai. What's left of the hurricane damage we can still see today are those gray trees snapped by the wind of Iniki. Alright, we're gonna climb out of Hanapepe, heading westbound towards Waimea. How's everyone doing? You guys look comfortable?
We're good.
Sweet. On board, I have Lars, Lou, Allison, and Ashgay all together. Where are you guys from?
Me and Lou are from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Very cool.
Very cool. I've been there.
We're from Los Angeles, but we just moved there, so I'm still saying we're from New York City.
Very cool. What brings you guys to Kauai? Anything special?
Lou, who's also known as Pop Pop, has brought all of us over here.
Awesome. Alright. Hope you guys are enjoying your time on the island. Welcome aboard.
I appreciate my grandkids.
Very cool.
We appreciate you, Pop Pop.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna cry. And I have Donald and Beth as well. Where are you two from?
We're from Seattle,
Nice.
and we got married a couple days ago, just on the other side of Poipu at a little private beach with a ukulele player, and did the services. Awesome.
Sweet. Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, congratulations.
And welcome aboard. Hope you guys are enjoying your time on the island.
If you can't be happy here, you got issues.
Yes, I agree. If anyone has any questions throughout the flight, don't be shy. You guys are talkative. I like it. Thank you.
I have a quick question, Rob.
Go for it.
Hey, the Jurassic Falls, so the production company had to pay that family to film it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they had to bring all their equipment in and bring all the equipment out too. They built a whole helipad and everything for the helicopter to land on it. As you can see, it was not there. We're crossing Holokela Canyon right now. The island of Kauai is the oldest. It is 5 million years old. We do have a volcano here. It's in the back of the canyon. It's called Mount Waialeale. It is extinct, and it has been for about 3.5 million years. Extinct volcano means no lava. No lava means the island is shrinking. The way it works, Waialeale gets most of the rain. Rain turns to rivers. The rivers slowly pull the dirt off of the island, cutting canyons and shrinking the island at the same time. That's how the island is shaped today. Big mountain in the middle, rivers and canyons wrapping all around. Since we left Lehue, we've been going westbound. The further west you go in Kauai, the drier the island becomes. Down below, so you can see the product of that less rainfall. You'll see a lot more exposed black lava rock and red dirt. The reason the dirt here is red is iron. Reaches the surface, oxidizes, turns red. Think of rust. Same thing. So it is a little hazy today, but this where we're at right now is probably going to be the best view we get. If you look 20 to 30 miles, kind of our 10, 11 o'clock, you can see another island over there. Just look for the hump, the black hump out there in the water. That is the island of Niihau. Niihau is entirely owned by the Robinson family. Because the whole thing is private property, you cannot go without an invite, and it has been nicknamed the Forbidden Island. We're leaving the Robinsons' property here on Kauai right now, and everything ahead of us is owned by the state of Hawaii. It is state parks. We have Waimea Canyon State Park straight ahead, and then there's a forest above the canyon and to the right of it called Koke'e, both accessible through the same road. This is where a lot of the outdoor recreation is on the island. Tons of hiking, backpacking, camping, and hunting.
Me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Well, I see skies of blue, and I see clouds of white, and the brightness of day. I like the dark, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the face.
As we fly through Waimea Canyon, look at the walls around us. You'll see a lot of layers in the rock. That's how the island was formed. Each layer is a flow of lava. Flow by flow, the island grew taller and taller. It's estimated Kauai used to be between 9 and 10,000 feet tall. Today, our tallest peak on the island is called Kauai, only 5,200. The island shrunk pretty much in half.
They'll learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind.
So Rob, this is all part of Waimea Canyon?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like a lemon drops high above the chimney top.
Rob, I'm curious, what are the largest animals you have back in here?
Well, deer and pig are the largest, but they're not large. So they just happen to be the largest, but big dog sized is probably as big as the deer get. So it's very small animals. But yeah, probably a buck would be the biggest black-tailed deer. We're gonna head to the tallest waterfall here in Waimea Canyon. It's in the back of this next cut. It'll be off the right side first. We'll be doing a big right 180 out in front of it to put it off the left shortly after. You can see the top of Waipo'o Falls now, 380 feet tall.
Waterfall, tumbling right down the wall, waiting for you, my love, and me.
See the rainbow mist at the base?
Yeah.
That only happens after 3 o'clock. It's the way the angle of the sun works, but it is pretty cool when you can see it. Wake up.
From my waterfall.
Waimea Canyon is 14 miles long, 1 mile wide, 3,600 feet deep. Nicknamed the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. If you have been to the Grand Canyon, you know it's quite a bit bigger than this. But consider where we are. Small island in the middle of the ocean. Pretty impressive, a volcano built literally everything you can see. Wind, rain, and river slowly carving out the island, shaping it as it looks today.
My love. Spread your wings and fly away. Fly to that distant star from my waterfall.
As we cross this ridgeline, you'll see some cars. This is the highway to get you up here at all the hiking, Highway 550. West side of the island out ahead of us, driest shoreline, only 10 to 20 inches of rainfall per year. It's pretty local over here, it's mostly agriculture, fishing. Waimea and Kaikaha are the two towns off of our left, and then straight ahead, you'll see some buildings down there. That's a Navy base. It's called Barking Sands Naval Base, which is home to the Pacific Missile Range. Down to our right, you're going to see a reservoir come into view. That is the only place in the entire state of Hawaii you can go trout fishing. airmail pre-fertilized rainbow trout into that pond or reservoir. And then there's a trout fishing season from June to September. Too hot for trout to have a natural spawn, that's why they gotta bring them in pre-fertilized. We are headed to the Nepali coast right now. Nepali means cliff, and the not before pluralizes it. Nepali, it's sea cliffs is what they are. The sea cliffs are starting over here to our left. You'll see a long beach called Polihale. Polihale is where the sea cliffs begin. We have no road where we have sea cliffs, so it ends down there at Polihale. Cliffs run all the way to Ke. In between the two beaches, there is no road at all. These cliffs to our left, they're only about 1,500 feet tall. When we hit the famous Nepali, pictures I'm sure you've maybe seen before, those cliffs are between 3,000 and 4,000 feet tall, and we're still about 1.5 miles from reaching those.
Robbie, is that the missile base to the left?
That's their tracking station. So, half of it, yeah. Nepali. Everything we're looking at is lava flows, wind and rain slowly pulling the dirt off of the rock, exposing the structure of the island. So you look up the coastline, you'll see it's mostly just cliffs straight into the beach. We don't have many beaches out here. Just like the first waterfalls, I'm going to make sure everyone gets a good view of the beach. It just might not be off your side right away. We are headed to the first of two major beaches. It's called Honopu. Honopu is going to look like two beaches, it's just one. 3 o'clock, you're going to start to see it right now, and then you'll also see the Honopu Arch. There's a lava rock archway connecting either side of the beach. There's no way to get to Honopu from the island. You actually have to anchor a boat offshore and swim. This one's different from that first beach. This is not because of private property. Just look at the cliffs back behind it. That makes hiking to it impossible. It's also a very sacred place here on the island. This is a burial site for the Ali'i. Ali'i translates to chief, highest ranking individuals in Hawaiian society, believed to have the most mana. Because of that mana, they're all buried in secret and unmarked burials in the big valley back behind Honopu. wind shift here as we leave the valley. And the next beach comes into view called Kauai. You can hike to that one. Kauai is an 11-mile hike one way. It takes people usually one pretty long day or 2 shorter days to get down to it. And then they're camping in the forest back behind it. We'll be doing a big left 360 here in front of Kauai so everyone gets a good view. If you're on the right side, you might be able to see the cathedrals right now. Up above Kauai Beach, you'll notice a pyramid of lava rock ridges and spires called the cathedrals. Looking down at the Honopu Arch off to the left, you can see light on either side of it from this angle. You'll get a good view of Kauai and those cathedrals above as well. There was Hawaiians living on the Nepali coastal around 1920. Most of the Hawaiian people were living in this next valley here called Kauai. Estimated 5,000 Hawaiians used to live in here at one point. Today, the entire Nepali coast is a wilderness state park. There's no roads here. You have to hike year-round and you have to have a permit to do it. Kauai Trail is visible from up here, but it is difficult to find. Down low on the ocean, you'll see 2 waterfalls kind of splitting and then hitting the ocean 20 feet off the water. Once you find those, in that area, look for a little ledge. It's right underneath the bushes, paralleling the ocean, no more than 200 feet off. That was built by the Hawaiians originally, kind of just a foot traffic highway, a way for them to get around. Today, top 10 hiking trips in the U.S., people from around the world travel to Kauai to hike it. It's off the left side now. Just kind of look for the ledge, kind of goes through the grass towards that black rock cliff. You actually might see the trail switch back before it hits what's called Crawler's Ledge.
Hop Up, Remember This Song by Enya.
One final beach here on the Nepali out ahead of us. It's a lot smaller than the other two. This one's called Hanakapiai. The beaches from summer to winter here change a lot. That one in the winter months is gone. All the sand gets pulled off of it. and that's about as big as it gets in the summer. That is a day hike, 2 miles, couple hours round trip. You still need a permit for it, but it is a lot easier to get the permits for that than the whole hike. Everyone's leaving from KA, the beach out ahead of us on the point. We're going to get up to KA and do a big left 360 to get everyone a good view of the entire Nepali back behind us.
Rob, are all these beaches safe to swim?
Depends on the day and the time of year. So this is a pretty rough day for the summer, but this would be a very calm day in the winter. Typically in the summer months, yes, they are. Doesn't mean every day is, but summer is the best time of year on this side of the island. So this spot on the island we're in now is pretty cool. We are right next to the rainiest beach on the island. KA can get up to 100 inches of rain. If you follow the beach down and away from us, you'll notice it goes from a very dark green color and kind of turns red the further as you go. Miloli, the beach at the very end, is only getting about 10% of the rainfall at the very end. Flying along the north shore here for just a couple miles before we turn back onto the island. This is where some of my favorite beaches on Kauai are. A lot of people would agree with me, and that makes parking up here not the easiest. KA, the first one with the big parking lot's the only one you have to have a permit for. Everything ahead of us is all first come first served, public and free. A lot of people like to go to Hyena, where the beach kind of goes away and then makes a left turn, almost makes a cove down there at this Hyena Beach Park. That's probably the biggest parking lot in the area that you can just come to, and as long as there's a spot, you're good to go. A lot of people are coming up here to go to Tunnels Beach. See where these waves are breaking in a U shape? That is Tunnels Reef, and that's where a lot of people like to snorkel. If you are familiar with Bethany Hamilton, professional surfer, lost her arm in a shark attack as a teenager, she was surfing down at Tunnels. In the winter months, that's a really good wave if you're a really good surfer. This time of year though, as you can see, not very many waves. This is when we have our lowest swell, and that means best for swimming. So really, the summer's the only time you can even swim in this area.
Do you know it's people, brothers, sisters walking hand in hand?
Straight ahead of us is the North Shore resort town of Princeville. Off the left of Princeville is Kilauea, and to the right is Hanalei Bay, where all these sailboats are. We're going to head straight for Hanalei now. If you want to come to the North Shore and you don't want to deal with having to get early parking, Hanalei Bay has a lot of parking lots. You can usually show up to Hanalei at any time of day, find parking in one of the few parking lots that they have down there.
This is aloha. This is aloha. This is aloha. This land of Hawaii. Have you felt the power? Mountain craters throwing lava in the air. Or it's
Robbie, is Kahalahala Beach coming up?
Yeah, it's going to be, the big section is Lumahai, and then Kahalala's to the left side of it. You see where the, can you, I don't know if you can look over me, but there's like a little J down there where the lava rock kind of hooks. That's Kahala, all the blue umbrellas. You can see a lot of people on the lava rock. You're the first person that has ever asked me about that beach. It's pretty secret. Back behind Honolulu Bay, you're going to see a lot of ponds. Those are all agricultural, called kaloloi. Purple root vegetable. It's kind of like a potato, kind of cousins, I guess. Brought by the original Hawaiian people. Select the fish pond, very well taken care of, and one of the largest producers of taro in Hawaii. We're on the wet side of the island. We're getting about 6 to 8 times the amount of rainfall up here, and that's producing this very lush green rainforest down below.
There's a place.
If you look at the walls around us, you're going to see a lot of vertical lines. Those are waterfall lines. It is July. This is when we get the least amount of rain. So a lot of them are dried up. A lot of the rainfalls here, waterfalls, sorry, are completely rainfall dependent. We do have some that are year round, but as you can see, looking at kind of around us, a lot of them not so much. Usually needing rain within the last day or two.
Kauai, Honolulu by the bay, Wailua River Valley is where I used to play. The canyons of Waimea, standing all alone. The magic of the garden now is calling me back home. When I was young, not too smart, I left my home looking for a brand new start.
One of the year-round waterfalls we're coming up on to the right. This mountain's called Mamalokama. The waterfall is Waioli. Pretty awesome. We get to see the entire thing, and we'll be doing a big ass turnout in front of it to put it off everyone's window.
Honolulu by the bay, Wailua River Valley is where I used to. The canyons of Waimea, standing all alone. The magic.
I assume in the rainy season, all these little gullies are full of water.
Yeah, so usually the little ones need rain pretty consistently, and we get that in the winter months. Even after a good big rainstorm here in the summer, they'll run. The problem is the gaps in between our rainstorms in the summer. They're just too long.
Standing all alone, the magic of the garden now is calling me back home. It's calling me back home.
We're crossing down into Honolulu Valley. If you've been to the town of Honolulu, the one-way bridge that you cross right before you hit town, you cross the river. This is the same river. We're just a couple miles upstream of it. We'll be flying up Honolulu River until we hit Mount Waialeale, the extinct volcano in the back of the valley.
All of you helicopter pilots are flying the same route.
No, we all hit the major points though. So pretty much everyone's going to Jurassic Falls, Waimea Canyon, and then Apali. But kind of in between there you can go different ways. Kauai is home to the wettest place in the world. That place is the top of the mountain up in the clouds to our right, Mount Waialeale. There's a little rain gauge up there measuring our annual rainfall, 450 inches of rain on average per year. A wet year over 600. Every single river that we've flown over starts on the top of the mountain and it kind of just flows out in different directions, cutting all the canyons that we've been around. The valley below us is going to fork. There's going to be two rivers low on the right side fork. We're going to do a turnout in front of, you'll see them down there, called the Twin Falls. We're going to head to the crater of the volcano now, Waialeale. Like I said, is extinct about 3.5 million years ago. The entire east side of the mountain blew out, all the lava drained, and there has been no volcanic activity since. Today, 3,000-foot hole in the side of the mountain. We're about a minute and a half away from it. We got a couple of ridge lines to cross. We're able to go into the center of the extinct volcano here shortly.
That was cool.
That's a fun one. Here's the crater straight ahead of us. Kind of a bowl shape. This is where all the lava used to be stored. Today, home to the tallest waterfalls on the island, 3,000 feet tall. This is a really good view of it. We can actually see almost all the way to the top. As we enter the crater, in the back left, you're going to see what's called a weeping wall waterfall. It's a type of waterfall. Looks like the water's pouring out of it, called the blue hole.
How would they feel about this modern city life? Tears would come from each other's eyes as they would start to realize that our people are in great, great danger now.
As we leave the crater looking straight ahead of us, this is the lava field. So they're all the lava drained during that extinction event. Today it's the North Fork of the Wailua River. The Sea Little River down below us. Drains out to Wailua Falls. If you have not been to Wailua Falls yet, I highly recommend it. It's 10 minutes from the office. You can plug it into Google Maps and you can drive straight to the waterfall. When you're there, all the water you're seeing is coming right out of the crater. You'll also start to see a lot of these flat-top trees. These are African albizas, if it reminds you of a safari in Africa. It's the exact same species of tree. We talk about animals in Waimea Canyon here in the Wailua River Valley. This is where a lot of the pigs on the island live. You get pigs across the entire island, but there's a very healthy population of them straight below.
Take a look into the
Are these trees natural to the island?
No, they are invasive. 98% of everything that you see right now is invasive. Only 2% of the island's vegetation and animals were here before human contact.
Don't dwell on the negative, just the positivity. And it's a beautiful day. It's just a beautiful day. We're always trying to satisfy these wants and needs. Take you some time for that inner peace. When your eyes are open, you'll see things differently. There's so much gloom hiding the reality. It's just a beautiful day. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Yeah, it's a beautiful day.
70 to 80% of this island is completely inaccessible from the ground. You saw the terrain and the vegetation. That makes building roads and trails across a lot of the island very difficult. There is also more than just one family with tens and thousands of acres. There's a couple of them. All that land that those families own is cutting off everyone except for them. That being said, the best way to see the whole island is definitely helicopter flight. I just wanted to take this time to thank you for choosing Blue Hawaiian. I hope you enjoyed our flight today. Appreciate you being here. We'll be back to the heliport in just a few minutes. Thanks again.
Don't dwell on the negative.
Yeah, no worries.
And it's a beautiful day. We're always trying to satisfy these wants and needs. Take you some time for that inner peace.
Is this helicopter equipped to fly to another island?
Yeah, totally. We actually fly them inter-island all the time. Our main base is on Maui, so when these things go in for like major maintenance, we gotta fly them all the way to Maui for that.
How fast do they go?
130
That's miles per hour?
knots, so that's 143 miles per hour.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Yeah, take a look into the sky. Take a look into the sky. Keep your head.
How long is that flight to Maui?
It depends on your wind, but usually if you have a favorable wind, an hour and a half.
Just a beautiful day.
Usually on the tour, we're between like 100 and 110.
Just a beautiful day. Don't you feel no way? It's just a beautiful day. No one can take that.
I've been in a lot of helicopters, and I'm telling you, nothing beats this.
Sorry, you said that again? Nothing beats the what?
I've been in a lot of helicopters and been on a lot of different rides and things, and boy, just nothing beats this.
Yeah, it's probably the nicest tour helicopter and probably the nicest place in the world for a helicopter tour.
That's good to know. This is my first one.
You started at the top, it's only down from here.
Lars, how are you doing?
A-OK dandy over here.
Pop-Up, how are you doing?
I'm extremely sad.
Allison, how are you doing?
Red roses too. I'll watch them bloom for me.
We're gonna do a hot offload. I am done for the day, so I actually moved the aircraft to our overnight parking somewhere else on the airfield. What that means for us is we're gonna be getting out when the engine's still on. What's gonna happen, we're gonna get down on the ground. Ground crew's gonna come out. They're gonna open the doors for you, so you don't need to worry about those. I want you guys going out the door you came in. You two up front, out the right door, everyone in the back out the left. Please watch your head on the way out. You might want to duck a little bit because these ceilings are low and hard plastic. Once you're out on the ground, I just want you guys to head forward. Go back to those numbers you started at. The blades are 10 feet off the ground, so you don't need to duck. You can duck if you want to. All I ask is don't jump or throw your hands in the air. Once you're at those numbers, you're well clear of them. If you drop anything, just let it go. Big thing to remember is just always move forward. Welcome back, everybody.